Here it is. I told you it was happening. Every month leading to the actual draft, we will be doing a mock draft. And I assumed now, since that it is Monday, this is now officially Mock Draft Monday. So now, leading up to the draft, every month, the first Monday of the month, we'll be doing a mock draft. I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently today. And the rest of the months, I will be showing 3 different mock drafts I did with 3 different ideas or methods of drafting in every single one of them. One includes heavy defense, one of them includes kind of a mix, and then heavy offense. And I'm assuming which I pretty much know which ones you guys are going to like the most. You guys always talk about defense in the comments. But before I jump into all my mock drafts, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It is not popping up, but 90% of you are subscribed right now, so please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Let me see if I can find it real quick, and boom, boom, there we go. 90% of you are not subscribed right now, so do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. If you like this content, if you like the Bengals, we'll be talking about everything Cincinnati Bengals here on the Bengals Digest channel, so do me a favor and please hit the subscribe button. But let's jump into it. So this is my first mock draft. This is leaning on more on the defensive side. I started just going in order. If you don't know, Cincinnati Bengals have six picks this draft, unless trades are a factor. So we have first round, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round, sixth round, no seventh round. This draft, I leaned more towards the defensive side first, heavy defensive players, and then finished up with a few offensive players to round out the offensive holes. I started with defensive tackle Walter Nolen, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is the Cincinnati Bengals' actual first-round pick is Walter Nolen. Duke Tobin, GM for the Cincinnati Bengals, was seen watching him very closely at the Reese's Senior Bowl, and he didn't play, but he practiced very well, so I wouldn't be surprised if Walter Nolen is actually our first-round pick. This season, 26 solo tackles, 6.5 sacks, and he is 6'3", 305 pounds. Big boy. Then I went with another D-tackle, beef up that inner defensive line with Tyleik Williams from Ohio State. Walter Nolen obviously from Ole Miss. Tyleik Williams this season, 16 tackles solo, 2.5 sacks, standing at 6'3", 327 pounds. So the first 2 rounds, beefing up the defensive line, especially in the interior. And then I went with the safety room, getting help in the safety room, secondary room back-to-back with first safety from Texas on Andrew Mukuba with 41 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble, 5 interceptions, and 6 passes deflected. This year, 6 foot, 190 pounds. I think he would be a huge fit with Al Golden's scheme. He likes to be aggressive. He likes to turn over the ball, and that is what Mukuba does a lot. And then my 4th-round pick is Coby Bryant. I've talked about this guy a lot. Out of Kansas, 26 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble, 4 interceptions, and 7 passes deflected, standing at 6 foot, 170 pounds. And then another showout, an MVP of the Reese's Senior Bowl, Jack Besh, wide receiver from TCU. He's kind of built like a tight end, but he's a wide receiver. This season with TCU, 62 receptions, 1,034 yards, and 9 touchdowns, standing at 6'2", 215. Go watch his highlights. Go watch his performance in the Senior Bowl. Won the MVP offensively in the Senior Bowl. He went crazy. He is in here a few times. Same with Coby Bryant and Andrew Mukuba. And then finally, 6th round, I finish up with offensive guard Joshua Gray out of Oregon State. He has a PFF grade this season of 72.9. So this was my first mock draft, leaning more towards the defensive side, trying to fill the defensive side of the holes first, and then adding some depth in the wide receiver room, and then getting desperate help, and the offensive guard help. Obviously, month to month, the drafts will change depending on who we sign, who we cut, who maybe whatever, who we re-sign, who we cut, who we sign from free agency. There's a lot of things that will affect each mock drafts going forward. But once again, first draft, defensive heavy, going with Walter Nolen, Tyleik Williams, Andrew Mukuba. I don't know why I keep saying Andre. Andrew Mukuba, Coby Bryant, Jack Besh, and Joshua Gray. All right, let's go to the second one. Once again, Jack Besh, he's on it again. But draft 2, I start with the defense again, but I also get the offense mixed in throughout as well. So it's kind of a mix. 3 defensive guys, 3 offensive guys. Start with edge rusher Mike Green from Marshall, who has, since the Senior Bowl and this past 2024 season, his name has skyrocketed. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets picked up before the 17th pick. But if he is there for Cincinnati 17, I think it would be a huge addition to that defensive line, especially if a guy like Sam Hubbard is cut from the team. He would be a huge guy to replace that. This season, 38 solo tackles, 17 sacks, 17 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, standing at 6'4", 248 pounds. He would be a huge addition for the defensive line. And like Al Golden has stated, he likes a guy that turns the ball over. He knows how to punch the ball out to get forced fumbles. Then I go with a safety early on, Xavier Watts. I've talked about him a lot. This would be a huge pickup for Al Golden because he already knows his scheme. Obviously, Al Golden being the former Notre Dame defensive coordinator. In this season, 53 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble, 6 interceptions, 9 passes deflected. He's standing at 6'3", 203, not 300 pounds, 203. Once again, he's a ball hawk. He turnovers the ball a lot, and that's Al Golden's scheme. Fits Al Golden's scheme perfectly. And then I'll get a running back. I think Cam Scadaboo from Arizona State would be a huge pickup 3rd round to be a running back 2 behind Chase Brown. He's kind of a power back. He's a pinball. It's hard to tackle him. This season, 293 carries for 1,711 yards and 21 touchdowns, standing at 5'11", 215. He's a smaller guy. Not for me, regular person, but smaller guy in the NFL, would be in the NFL, but he's a pinball. He's hard to tackle, would be a huge addition to that offense. And then I got us going after cornerback from Ohio State, Jordan Hancock. This year, 29 solo tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 1 interceptions, and 8 passes deflected, standing at 6'1", 195 pounds. Obviously, winning the national championship this year with Ohio State. Go Bucks. But also, he's strong. He can punch the ball out really well, obviously. But he also gets his hands involved in passing game with 8 passes deflected. And those passes deflected, the more passes are deflected, leads to more chip drills, which leads to more interceptions. Then once again, I have us going to get Jack Besh again. Not going to go over his stats again, but wide receiver out of TCU. Go watch his highlights. An amazing player, would be a huge pickup. You can even beef him up and maybe move into the tight end room. You never know. And then another standout Reese's Senior Bowl player, offensive guard Clay Webb out of Jack State. PFF grade of this season, 82, standing at 6'3", 290. And also, last draft, I had us drafting offensive guard Joshua Gray from Oregon State. He's 6'4", 310 pounds. Clay Webb started at Georgia, transferred to Jack State. Georgia transferred to Jack State. Lesser competition, but extremely dominant offensive guard in their conference, which is Central USA, pretty sure. And in the Senior Bowl, he went up against one-on-ones, defensive line versus offensive line. He went up against Deontay Walker from Texas, defensive tackle, who would be a huge pickup for Cincinnati. I don't have him in any of these drafts, but would be a huge pickup for him. And he went toe-to-toe with him, winning most of the reps. So he is a phenomenal player. He will be a phenomenal player in the NFL. And if you could snag him in the 6th round, I think that would be a huge deal for the Cincinnati Bengals. So this second mock draft going half and half between defense and offense. First going Mike Green, then I got Xavier Watts, safety from Notre Dame. Running back, Cam Scadaboo from Arizona State. Cornerback from Ohio State, Jordan Hancock, Jordan Battle's already a Bengal. Next, wide receiver, Jack Besh, and then offensive guard, Clay Webb. And then my final one, more offensive heavy, also actually is half again, but offensive firepower in the beginning. Starting with a guy I talked about a bunch, saying I think we should draft in 1st round. Tight end from Penn State, Tyler Warren. This season, 104 receptions, 1,233 yards with 8 receiving touchdowns, standing at 6'6", 257 pounds. This dude is an absolute phenomenon. He would be probably the biggest addition to Cincinnati this draft if this was what the draft looked like. He's got incredible hands. He's got incredible route running skills. He's fast. He's big. He can hurdle people. He can stiff arm. He can do pretty much anything on the field. He's another Taysom Hill. Would be a huge pickup. Then I got us going at a guard early. offensive guard from Georgia, Tate Ratledge, PFF grade of 74.4 this season, staying at 6'6", 320 pounds. He's number 2 offensive guard ranked in this draft behind Tyler Booker from Alabama, so getting him second round would be huge. Then once again, I have us going back-to-back guys I've already gotten before. Safety, Andrew Makuba, once again from Texas, 5 interceptions, 6 passes deflected. And then once again, 4th round going to get Kansas cornerback Kobe Bryant, 1 forced fumble, 4 interceptions, 7 passes deflected. And then a new guy I haven't mentioned in the 5th round going after edge / defensive line. He has moved around from D tackle defensive edge, which would be huge. Ja Joyner from Minnesota Gopher. 12 solo tackles, 4.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, standing at 6'5", 265. So he's a big boy, really fast, quick hands, quick feet. Would be a huge addition late in the draft. And then a different wide receiver this draft, Pat Bryant from Illinois, 54 receptions for 984 yards and 10 touchdowns this season. So this was more of the offensive-driven draft, starting with offensive player rather than defensive players. But once again, this draft 3, Tyler Warren, tight end from Penn State, Tate Ratledge, offensive guard from Georgia, Andrew Makuba, safety from Texas, cornerback from Kansas, Kobe Bryant, defensive edge / defensive line from Minnesota, John Joyner, and wide receiver from Illinois, Pat Bryant, is my 3rd mock draft. So once again, I'll just show you guys real quick. This is the first draft, defensive heavy. Defensive tackle Walter Nolen, defensive tackle Tyleik Williams, safety Andrew Makuba, cornerback Kobe Bryant, and wide receiver Jack Besh, and offensive guard Joshua Gray. Then moving to the half and half, defense and offense. Edge rusher Mike Green, safety Xavier Watts, running back Cam Scatterbu, cornerback Jordan Hancock, again wide receiver from TCU Jack Besh, and offensive guard Clay Webb. And then finally, offensive-driven draft, tight end Tyler Warren, offensive guard Tate Ratledge, safety Andrew Makuba, cornerback Kobe Bryant, edge / defensive line Ja Joyner, and wide receiver Pat Bryant. Let me know which one. Go in the comments below. Put what mock draft you would like to see the Bengals go after. Draft 1, Draft 2, or Draft 3 in the order that I just showed them. So this would be Draft 1, starting with just think about the first player we draft. Walter Nolen is Draft 1. Mike Green is Draft 2. Tyler Warren is Draft 3. So let me know what draft you think we should go after based off this that I talk about. And then also let me know in the comments what you think our mock draft should look like. Go through the 6 rounds. Give me the players you think we should go get in those rounds. The players that actually will be in those rounds. Don't give me like Walter Nolen, Tyler Warren, Xavier Watts, because they won't be available. Give me players who you think we should go and get in the draft that would still be there, and give me the reason why. But thank you so much for watching this first edition before the actual draft, but of Carson Lokey's Monday mock drafts. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to the Bengals Digest channel. 9% of you watching are subscribed. Please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 500. Basically there. I said we'll get there at the end of last week. We basically got there. So thank you so much for almost 500. Probably going to hit that this tomorrow, Tuesday. Hopefully we hit 500. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below once again what draft you like. Draft 1, Draft 2, Draft 3. Let me know what draft you would like to see. Make your own draft. Like this video. Share with your friends. Because football is better together, especially with the Bengal fans. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time on Bengals Digest channel. I'm Carson Lokey. Good night and God bless.